obviously Clemson does not have a single commit on the line of scrimmage right now. Um, and I do think that that's going to be a really big point of emphasis when the official visit weekend comes around on May 29th. That's going to be a very, very important thing for Clemson to kind of close in on, because on the offensive line, I mean, you have five guys that have confirmed to be visiting in attendance. Carter Jones is a very, very big one that I feel like Clemson really needs to close the deal on. They're doing a really, really good job. I'm sure those of you that have followed recruiting are well aware of the industry predictions for Clemson for him. So I think, kind of closing and getting to the finish line with him is a big, very, very big deal. So I obviously want to keep an eye on him. Nate Carson, I've talked about him a good bit. That's going to be a tough one, obviously from Irmo. That's going to be very difficult. That's Gamecock country, right outside of Columbia. And you're battling a lot of other schools as well for him. But obviously, I think the Gamecocks are going to be a tough pull for him. And Peyton Miller, from Texas is another one to keep a really, really close eye on as we get closer to official visit weekend. Kind of looking on the other side of the ball on the line of scrimmage, you got, again, you don't have anybody committed at the moment, but you've got several guys on the defensive line at edge and on the interior that you really need to, kind of, close the deal on. And maybe potentially get a few of these other names to add their name in the hat in terms of attendees for the official visit weekend. But right now you've got Jaden Worth confirmed to be a visitor there from Dutch Fork. Obviously Dutch Fork, another school in Irmo, South Carolina, that we're all well familiar with. School of Antonio Williams, Will Taylor, and other notable players that have come through the program. But again, very much a Gamecock centered school. A lot of Dutch Fork kids end up going to South Carolina. Doing a really good job with Jaden Worth right now. But, again, it's getting him on campus and getting him to close the deal. Caleb Spivey from Alabama is another guy that I think Clemson is really going to have an emphasis on trying to land and kind of get into the fold. So another one to keep an eye on. Seth Tillman. You're kind of noticing a trend. Clemson has really gone hard in the Columbia, Rock Hill. Columbia and Rock Hill, two Gamecock strongholds. So in this case, with Seth Tillman at South Point and Rock Hill. So again, another one that I think is going to be a tough pull. You're going to be battling the Gamecocks for his services. Very, very tough to swing a defensive lineman from that area from going to the other in-state school. But I think they've done as good a job as anybody in his recruitment. So another one to keep an eye on. So line of scrimmage, I think when you look at this class as a whole right now, I think that's got to be the most important thing. That's got to be priority number one right now. You have a linebacker. We've talked about linebacker recruiting, but you do have two linebackers committed currently in the class. So right now, I think it's about getting those big dudes on the line of scrimmage, because ultimately, that's going to be what makes or breaks this program in the future. If you really are serious about getting back to the top, it's got to start with the line of scrimmage. It's got to start with winning in the trenches. All right. And, scrolling down,